हॅलो.
येस मॅम.
हा आवाज येतोय ना? तेच तेच
हाँ
बरं.
मैम।
हा आता झाला तो सुरू. ठीक आहे. अप टू नो वॉट एवर वी हैव सीन, याद है किसी को या हफ्ते में भूल गए? इन प्रीवियस लेक्चर व्हाट वी हैव सीन, we have started the third chapter in which subtractive processes we are going to see. In that we have seen the photolithography. In the photolithography itself is not used for the subtractive process, but this is used to create the patterns, means mask, and by using the development solution we can create the windows, and through that windows we can remove the parts. So photolithography is used for the additive processes also and subtractive processes also to create the patterns or to create the windows. From these windows either we can add the impurity items like diffusion or doping, ion implantation, and we can subtract the impurity items like by doing the etching process. Now today we are going to see etching process. In last lecture we have seen photolithography. What are the different steps for photolithography? Are you remembering anyone? Pranav? Any step? We have seen 10 steps within the photolithography. Total 10 steps are there. So can you list any one of the step? संध्या, सौरभ, सगळं विसरलात काय? हॅलो, आर यू देअर और नॉट?
फोटो लिथोग्राफीचं ना
हा,
स्टेप्स हवेत का कसं का ते सरफेस
नाही
प्रिपरेशन
नाही 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 स्टेप्स, त्या 10 स्टेप्स पैकी ओनली ओनली वन स्टेप यू कॅन मेन्शन, एनी वन, ॲटलिस्ट एनी
सरफेस
वन.
सरफेस
सरफेस
प्रिपरेशन
प्रिपरेशन, ओके.
HMDS पेपर प्राइम वाला.
हा हा हा. Then Saurabh, anyone another step? We have seen several steps within the photolithography. Surface preparation is there. Then after this, application of photolithographic material is there. Sorry, photoresist is there. Then soft bake is there. Then alignment and exposure. Then development. Then hard bake. Then adding or subtracting the material. Then removing of the photoresist. And again lastly inspection. Like this several steps are there within the photolithography. Now today we are going to see the etching. दिसते का रे तुम्हाला? मलाच दिसत नाही. 1 minute. स्लो आहे. Are you able to see?
Yes ma'am.
So today we are going to see etching. Before going for etching process, again we can just see the different processes. Lithography, just in previous lecture we have seen. Process of transferring a pattern from pre-made photo mask into a photoresist layer. Means from photo mask, that pattern is transferred to the photoresist layer. Then this photoresist layer is kept in the development solution or applied a development solution above this, and the unwanted part is removed. Like this, that photo mask pattern is created on the photoresist. Then when the material is removed, some windows are created, and through that windows either we can add something or we can subtract something. Now etching. Etching is removal of material either by a wet chemical etching or a gaseous or plasma process. Means in the etching process there are two processes. Either we can use a wet chemical etching or wet etching, and either we can use a dry etching. Then deposition, already you know, we have seen the deposition methods also. Addition of material, that material may be the insulator, semiconductor, or any type of metal. Then annealing, annealing means sometimes that crystalline structure may get damaged when we are doing the diffusion. Due to that heat, the substrate crystalline structure get damaged, and to make it again crystalline manner, we have to use the annealing process. Annealing means heating of that substrate in the 400 to 500 degree centigrade temperature near about half an hour. Then oxidation is growth of silicon dioxide. Again, oxidation processes we have seen, means oxidation is nothing but deposition of silicon dioxide. And for what purpose oxidation is used? Oxidation is used for the isolation purpose, for the in the MOSFET, to before applying the gate contact, we have to use the oxidation. Like this, oxidation is an insulation purpose also, and for isolation purpose between the two devices within the IC, or within the two components within the IC. Then planarization means this is the last process when our IC is completely produced. Then after this the polishing is done, or wafer is produced, then the polishing is done, so that the plane surface will be plane. And ion implantation and diffusion, these are nothing but the doping of atoms. Doping means addition of foreign atoms into the substrate. Then the exposed area will be there, and through that exposed area, either by using the diffusion or by using ion implantation, we can add impurity atoms to the layer or to the substrate material. आता अर्धा तास 1 minute, चेंज नहीं होते स्लाइड. Now etching. In photolithography also we have seen that. See, these are the same steps again whatever we have seen in the photolithography. Substrate, above this the deposited film. Generally this is the silicon dioxide. Whatever the blue slanted lines you are going to see, this is nothing but the silicon dioxide. Then above this the photoresist is applied. Then photoresist, next step is alignment and exposure, where we have kept a mask and it is exposed to the ultraviolet light. Then through the transparent region, where the transparent region will be there, through that the light will fall above the photoresist, and only that part will become weakened. And after this should be kept in the development solution. When this is kept in the development solution, only the photoresist will be removed. Means either we have to keep this in the development solution or development solution is applied. Then only the photoresist will be removed. You can see in the development, this window, only the photoresist is removed. See, when we are removing the photoresist, it is called as a development. It is not considered as a etching. Okay. Etching कब बोलेंगे हम? When we applied some or we have deposited some layer, and through that layer we are removing some part, then this is considered as etching. You can see development, only the photoresist will be removed and remaining part is protected by the photoresist where we don't want etch. Then in etching you can see due to the photoresist window, there are the windows, and through that windows we can etch. Means either we can etch by using the wet etching process or by using the dry etching process. Means here silicon dioxide layer will be removed, which we have deposited already. And what is the purpose of this photoresist? Photoresist is used to protect the layer below or under it. Means below the above the silicon dioxide, photoresist layer will be there, and that photoresist silicon dioxide will be protected. Where it is not protected by the photoresist, only that silicon dioxide layer will be removed. And For that purpose, we require a photolithography. And lastly, once our aim is done, that we want to create a window in silicon dioxide layer, finally we can remove the photoresist. So like this we have created the window. Means first step, if substrate above this deposited film, and last step, if you see the resist substrate, and above this the window is there within the silicon dioxide layer. To create these two, we have used the photolithography approach. So here we have done the etching. Now etching, already I told you that there are two types of etching mainly: wet etching and dry etching. Wet etching, as name indicates, generally the liquid etchants are used, and it is a simple process that in the wet etching solution, that wafers are placed inside that solution. Due to the chemical reactions, the some whatever the solution is there, this will chemically acting with the material which is placed inside it, and there will be a chemical reaction between these two, and it will produce a byproducts which are soluble in water or which are soluble in that solution, and like this way the parts are removed. Means you can see, if you are preparing the PCBs, means uh, in the second year, third year, you have seen that, you might have seen that for at the time of doing some mini projects. If you are doing a PCB, or if you are designing some diagrams, you are transporting to the copper clad, then whatever the diagrams are there, that you are protecting by using some type of paint. So that is nothing but the photo mask. You are applying the mask. After this, you are keeping this in the FeCl3 solution. Then what will happen? The part, the copper clad part which is protected, that will not be dissolved in that solution, FeCl3 solution. The remaining part of the copper clad will dissolve in that solution. And after this, when you remove it, then you have to remove this mask, whatever the mask you have applied. You have applied some paint, then that you can remove. Generally the acetone is used for removing this. Then with the help of acetone you can remove this, and you can have a pattern or circuit diagram on copper clad. Similarly here also, you want to create the patterns, the which you don't want to dissolve, that will be protected, and which you want to dissolve, that are kept open, and then this is kept in the developer solution, sorry, etchant solution. Then when it is kept in the etchant solution, due to the some chemical reactions, the part which is open or the part which is not protected is will dissolve in that solution, and some byproducts will be produced. Again, these byproducts are dissolved in the that solution, or that byproducts may be dissolved in the water also. So this is called as a wet etching. In the liquid etchants are used and due to the chemical processes that etching is done. And in the dry etching uses plasma. Means already I told you, suppose a dry soil is there, and when you bombard or when you blow air on this soil, then what will happen? Then that some part of soil will be blown away or removed away from this, and to have a gap there is like this a dry etching is done. Now there are some specific properties of wet etching and dry etching. Means though there are, these are the two methods, we can't use as per our choice. That is, either we can go for wet etching or dry etching, depending upon our requirement, that exactly how etching we want. Depending upon that, we want to go for either wet etching or dry etching, because wet etching possesses some characteristics or some advantages, and again wet etching is having some disadvantages. Dry etching is having its own advantages and its disadvantages. So before selecting the process, we have to see that which type of advantages we want, and depending upon this we have to select the process, wet etching or dry etching. see weight etching. Now, weight etching and dry etching is shown in the two diagrams. In the first diagram, it is shown that is the weight etching is there, and in the second diagram, shown that is the dry etching. Weight etching, already I told you, some chemical, due to the chemical reactions, the weight etching is done, or byproducts are produced, and these byproducts are soluble in that solution or soluble in the water also. But what is the drawback of this weight etching is that weight etching is isotropic in nature. Isotropic in nature means what? You can see in the first diagram where the part, some part you want to produce, some part you want to etch, then that is protected by using the mask. Whatever the dark color is there, that is a mask, and below it is a substrate. Then when you keep this in the etchant solution, then what will happen? It will etch the required part, also it will etch the part under the part which is protected by the mask. You can see there is a vertical etching also, and there is a horizontal etching also. Why this will happen? Because the etchant solution is such that in that it is a isotropic. It is isotropic means it will etch vertical direction also, in horizontal direction also. But actually we want etch in vertical direction only. We don't want undercut etching or under etching. But this will happen due to the wet etching. Means wet etching is isotropic. Isotropic property means what? It will etch in equal in all directions. Is that particular solution will be there. That solution will etch equal in all direction. It will etch vertically as well as it will etch horizontally. And because of this, what will happen? In that solution, mask will not etch, but the layer which is protected by the mask, below layer, that will get etched, which we don't want. And therefore, accuracy is not that good. Now, second, dry etch, what will happen? In the dry etch, it is anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic means what? In which direction we want to etch, only in that direction the etching will happen. The area which is protected by the mask, that area will not etch. But what is the drawback? Suppose here in the second diagram we have seen that it is a mask, and below the mask only the substrate will be there. But suppose like that, suppose this is a silicon dioxide, and below this again the substrate will be there. Then what will happen? There are two layers, silicon dioxide as well as substrate. Like we have seen in the etching diagram. In this diagram, in the etching, where my arrow is there you can see you want to remove only the silicon dioxide part, and below this the silicon substrate will be there. You don't want to remove the silicon substrate. But when you use the dry etching is bombardment of ions, and due to that what will happen? It will etch silicon dioxide also, but when it is not stopped at particular time, and if time is more than the required time, then what will happen? It will etch substrate part also. Means here, because here no solution is used, and because of this what will happen? Only it is a directional, but it will etch the required material as well as unrequired material also, because in the plasma there is no any selection of material. It will etch any material if we are using the plasma. And if the time is not maintained properly, and if that etching process is done for more time, then it will etch silicon dioxide, and below this whatever the substrate material will be there, that substrate material is also etched. Therefore, means there are the two things. One is the isotropy and another is the directionality. Isotropic or directionality, and another is the selectivity. Then we will see what is the directionality and what is selectivity. Then again we will see what is wet etching and what is dry etching what are the wet etching and dry etching characteristics. Now first we will see etch rate. Etch rate is the measure of how fast the material is removed from the wafer surface. Now see in the green color it is shown that this is the part we want to etch. This is the entire area or length, and in second part we have seen that some part is removed, that is delta D, shown in the white color, and green color which is not etched. Then etch rate we can tell that etch rate is equal to the part removed per minute, the length or part removed per minute, that or dimension of the part removed per minute. That dimensions are generally in the Armstrongs, because the thickness is very less, and therefore these dimensions are in terms of Armstrongs. So that part removed means how much part is removed per unit time or per minute, that is nothing but the etch rate. Then some materials are having etch rate faster, some materials will are having etch rate slower. Then each selectivity means that, see, in the IC fabrication technology there are layer by layer structures. Layer by layer structures means silicon substrate will be there, above the substrate silicon dioxide will be there. Then if you want to etch only the silicon dioxide, then and below this the silicon substrate will be there, then selectivity is such that each rate of target layer, what is our target layer? Target layer is silicon dioxide, because we want to remove only the silicon dioxide. And each rate of other layer, which is other layer? Substrate, silicon substrate. For example, I am giving again mask is protected, means this silicon dioxide is protected by the mask. We don't want to remove the mask, we don't want to remove the area which is protected by the mask, we don't want to remove the substrate, only we want to remove the silicon dioxide. So that is called as the selectivity. Selectivity means what? Each rate means how fast that particular material or target material will be removed in the particular solution by keeping other material as it is, that is mask and silicon dioxide. Means suppose if we take a hydrofluoric acid for example as a etchant solution, then silicon dioxide is having very high etch rate in the hydrofluoric acid, but photoresist like the PMMA and silicon as a substrate material, these two are having very less etch rate in the hydrofluoric acid. Then what will happen? In the hydrofluoric acid, silicon dioxide will etch fast or dissolve fast, whereas photoresist and the silicon substrate will not etch fast. And due to this, what will happen? We will get only the selective material removal. That is nothing but a selectivity. Each rate of target material, then each rate of target material should be high in the particular solution rather than the each rate of other layers, so that only the targeted material will be removed and other material will not be removed. So here in general the each rate selectivity should be 25 to 50, greater than 25 or in between 25 to 50, that each rate should be there. Then what will happen? Suppose in hydrofluoric acid silicon dioxide will dissolve very fast, means its each rate is 1 millimeter per minute, means it is very fast. And each rate of photoresist and each rate of silicon substrate within the hydrofluoric acid is 1 millimeter per hour. 1 millimeter per hour means what will happen? When we want to etch the silicon dioxide and we keep that wafer, which is oxidized wafer, which is protected by the photoresist mask, there are created some windows, and that if we keep in the hydrofluoric acid solution, then what will happen? It will remove only the silicon dioxide, and after 1 minute, if we um, take outside that substrate from that solution, then what will happen? No mask will be removed, no substrate will be removed, because the etching rate of substrate and mask is very, very, very high than the target material, and therefore these two materials will not get dissolved. Only the material which we want to dissolve, only that material will be dissolved. So like this, different materials are having different solutions. Means in particular solution, particular material is having high etch rate. In another solution, another material is having high etch rate. Then in the weight etching, we have to select a proper solution, proper etchant solution to remove the particular material. And again, we have to select that material, that within that etchant solution, whatever the other materials are there, that should not get dissolved. So that is nothing but the each selectivity. Each selectivity means what? Only the selected material or only the targeted material will be removed or should be removed, and other material should not be dissolved or should not be removed in that etchant solution. And therefore, weight etching is having a good selectivity. Good selectivity means what? As we can selected the solution such that only that particular material will be dissolved. Other materials will not be dissolved in that solution. Therefore, what will happen? Only the targeted material will be removed and other materials will not be removed. But what will happen with that targeted material? That targeted material will be removed equal in all directions. Equal in all directions means what? Though we are protected with the mask, but below the mask, the under etching will happen because of its isotropic property. Means that weight etching is having good selectivity. Good selectivity means particular material will etch, another material will not etch. A particular material will dissolve, another material will not dissolve. That is a good selectivity. But it is isotropic. Isotropic means what? The material selected will each equal in all direction. But we want only the vertical etching. Though we want a vertical etching, it will etch in horizontal direction also. That is the drawback of weight etching. Means if weight etching we consider, it is having a good selectivity but isotropic in nature, and therefore under etching happen. So this is a weight etching. Means weight is two, depending upon the two properties or two characteristics, you have to select either weight etching or dry etching. Weight two characteristics are the isotropy and the selectivity. Isotropy means actually we want anisotropy. Anisotropy means in particular direction etching will be more, remaining direction no etching should happen. That is a anisotropic property. So we want anisotropy because generally we want only the vertical etching, and we want a selectivity, good selectivity. Only the particular material should etch, other material should not etch. So that two properties we want, but weight etching will satisfy only the selectivity. It will not satisfy the anisotropic property. Now the same thing is shown here. Directionality. You can see in the first diagram it is isotropic. Isotropic means below the mask the etching will happen. This is somewhat anisotropic, means very less under etching is happened, and this is a completely anisotropic. Third diagram, see, where only the vertical etching is done, horizontal etching is not done. And actually, we want etching as per the third diagram. Okay, so see here again these are shown. First diagram, you can see selectivity is good. Selectivity means see, first gray material is the mask, second material is the silicon dioxide, and third material is the substrate. If we keep this in the weight etching or we use weight etching for this particular etching process, then what will happen? Undercutting or under etching will happen because a weight etching is isotropic in nature. It will etch vertically as well as it will etch horizontally also. But it will not etch mask as will not it will not etch the silicon dioxide because the selectivity is very good. This is for the weight etching. So Wet etching or chemical etching is more selective but isotropic. Wet etching is nothing but a chemical etching process. Now in B diagram, you can see that when you apply a physical etching or dry etching process, then dry etching process is that dry etching process means where you are using ions, positive ions, and by using the ion bombardment, the atoms are removed or materials are removed. Then what will happen? That ion bombardment may happen on the mask surface, may happen above the silicon dioxide surface, and when silicon dioxide removed, it may get insert or it may harm to the below substrate surface also. Means you can see that it is a directional means the whatever the things or etching is done, it is in generally in vertical direction, but the selectivity is not good. The material which we want to remove, that is also removed, and material which we don't want to remove, that is also removed. Means selectivity is not good. तो समझ में आया what is the directionality and what is selectivity? Directionality means anisotropy and selectivity means only the targeted material should be removed, other material should not remove. But in the in the B diagram, in the second B diagram, second diagram, what you are going to see, the photoresist mask is also removed, silicon substrate is also removed, and the silicon dioxide is also removed. Means though it is a directionality is good, but the selectivity is not, because due to that ion bombardment, the unwanted part also get removed. तो समझ में आया ये इतना? Now we will see the wet etching. समजलं का रे? कोणी सांगा? विशाल?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What it means, these two important parameters are there. Means wet etching and dry etching. It should be depending upon the selectivity and directionality. Now first we will see wet etching in detail. Now in the wet etching, due to chemical reaction that produces water soluble byproducts. Already I told you there will be some chemical reactions, and due to that chemical reactions some byproducts are produced. These byproducts are soluble in that solution itself, as well as it should be soluble in the water, so that when the byproducts are produced, after this when it will be get rinsed, then whatever the byproducts are produced, that will get away or removed away easily. So in the wet etching, due to some chemical reactions, it will happen. Now example, if you see etching of silicon dioxide by aqueous hydrofluoric acid. Aqueous hydrofluoric acid means what? In the hydrofluoric acid, near about equal amount of water is added, 1:1 proportion, or sometimes 2:1, depending upon the requirement. That proportion will be there. And in the hydrofluoric acid, some part of water is added, and within that solution, that wafer is placed. Which type of wafer? Wafer which is oxidized above. Above this, the protected mask is there, and window will be created like this. Whatever we have seen in the first slide, that pattern after the photolithographic pattern. Because here we want to remove only the silicon dioxide. Then which chemical reaction will taken place? If that will be kept, that wafer is kept in the silicon hydrofluoric acid, then chemical reaction will taken place. Silicon dioxide layer will be there, and that silicon dioxide layer will mix with the hydrofluoric acid, and these two byproducts will be produced, and these two byproducts are soluble in the water. Then suppose some few minutes are required, suppose 1 minute, 2 minute time, we should know what is the etch rate, and after that sufficient time we have to remove that wafer and simply rinse that wafer and dry it with the help of dryer. So unwanted part will be removed. But what is the drawback? The under etch also happen. Under etch means below the mask there will be etching, because as we have kept this in the solution, this solution will etch in the horizontal direction also, in vertical direction also. That is the drawback of wet etching. Then another is etching of silicon by nitric acid. If we are using the nitric acid, then also it can be done, means hydrofluoric acid, nitric acid, some solution will be there, again some water should be added. And so if we want to etch the silicon, not silicon dioxide, okay, if you want to etch the silicon, we require a nitric acid and hydrofluoric acid combination along with the water. And if three solutions, mixed solution, if we keep the wafer, and that wafer remaining part will be protected by the mask, then only the part which is open or which is exposed, that will be removed, and such byproducts are produced. Again, these byproducts are water soluble. So like this we can do the etching. Means here in the example you can see that if you want to etch the silicon dioxide, which solution you require? Hydrofluoric acid. If you want to etch silicon only, then along with the hydrofluoric acid you require a nitric acid. Is these two solution liquids are mixed together or solutions are mixed together, and then within that solution silicon substrate is placed, which is protected by the mask, and some windows are there, and where the windows are there, only that part will be removed. समझ में आया? So like this the wet etching is there. So how actual operation will happen, that is shown here. It is a chemical etching process. Initially, means see here, you can see substrate above this film will be there, which is a silicon dioxide film, and which is photoresist protected by the photoresist mask, and some window will be there. Then through that window what will happen, whatever the reactants are there in the solution, that will place above this, some chemical reactions will taken place between these two, and byproducts will present there, and these byproducts will be go away, or this will get dissolved in that solution, or further it may get dissolved in the pure water or distilled water also. So three steps are there for wet etching. You can see here the substrate will be there, which is placed in the wet etchant solution, or you can see within the tank simultaneously so many wafers are placed. This is called etchant sink, and within the sink so many wafers are placed simultaneously. Then chemical solution is used, which is a etchant solution, to dissolve the material on the wafer surface. The byproducts are gaseous, liquids, or materials that are soluble in the etchant solution as well as soluble in the water. The second step is that just rinse it in the distilled water. Means after the etching is happen, means we have to find out how much time is required. Only up to that much time we have to place this in the etchant sink. After that time it should be removed from that sink, and then these wafers should be placed in the distilled water, where in the distilled water whatever the byproducts are produced, contamination left over there, that all contamination will be removed from the wafer, and the patterns are created, and then that will be after this spin, using the spin dryer, that wafers are dried, because if any water particles are left over there, that will be get vapored and removed away, and that wafers will be dried. So these three basic steps are there, means whatever the these are the chemical reactions, and these are the steps. Now again see, this is a table where the some chemical etchants for various thin films used in IC fabrication. Means suppose you want silicon dioxide to remove, means first column is the material which we want to remove, second is the etchant solution, and third is the comment. Suppose you want to remove the silicon dioxide, you can use a hydrofluoric acid 49% in water, means near about 50-50%, 1:1 ratio is taken. Or suppose another solution you have used, then 6:1 NH4F and hydrofluoric acid, 6:1 solution is there, again it is mixed with the water, and within that solution that wafer is placed where we want to remove only the silicon dioxide. Then silicon nitride if you want to remove, means either silicon dioxide layer will be there or silicon nitride layer will be there. Both are not there simultaneously. Suppose sometimes silicon nitride layer will be there, then silicon nitride is having same solubility as silicon dioxide. Suppose aluminium you want to remove, then aluminium, like this combination you have to take H3PO4 H2O HNO3 CH3COOH, and the proportion is like this 16s to 2s to 1s to 1. In 16 proportion SCPO4 2% water, 2% nitric acid, and CH3COH 1%. Like this solution is made, and within this, because see aluminium कब डालेंगे हम, when we deposit, when we want to do the metallization. But again at the time of metallization also, some part you want to keep as it is, some part you want to remove. And the part which we want to keep as it is, that should be protected by using the mask, and the part which you want to remove, that should be kept open. And when such wafer is placed in the solution, then see when we are doing the metallization is generally done at the very last. सब होने के बाद, सब स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट होने के बाद, lastly we are doing the metallization. So which type of etchant solution we have to take? In that etchant solution, another material should not etch. That may be the silicon dioxide, that may be the substrate, that may be the any another type of layer, polysilicon. All that material should not etch. Only the aluminium should etch. So here, see this type of solution, 16s to 2s to 1s to 1. If we prepare such type of solution, then within that solution only aluminium will be dissolved and other materials will not be dissolved, like silicon, silicon dioxide, and photoresist. Therefore this type of solution is selective over silicon, silicon dioxide, and photoresist. Means within that solution silicon, silicon dioxide, and photoresist will not get dissolved, only the aluminum get dissolved. समझ में आया? What is meant by selectivity? Selectivity, we have to select such that only that particular material will get dissolved, which we want to remove. Other materials should not be get dissolved in that solution. So like this for aluminium, this type of solution is used. For polysilicon, again such type of solution is used. Then single crystal silicon. Single crystal silicon means silicon substrate itself. Such type of solution is used. Photoresist, sometimes we want to remove the photoresist also, because after our window is created or etching operation is done, then after this no use of that photoresist, then we have to remove that photoresist. Then photoresist removal is also one type of etching process. Then for that again we require H2SO4 solution, H2O2 hydrogen peroxide, and these two are heated near about, these two solution is there, it is heated near about 125 degrees solution centigrade temperature, and within this that wafer is placed, then only the photoresist will be removed, remaining part will not be removed. समझ में आए वे टीचिंग? वे टीचिंग समजलं का सगळ्यांना? One minute. समझले हैं? In next time we will see the dry etching, because again within the dry etching itself again the three methods are there, that we will see in the next lecture. Okay. कोणी आहे की गेले सगळे?
आहोत मॅम आहोत.
अच्छा. मला वाटतं अटेंडन्स का मिळत नाहीये, मला समजत नाहीये. वन मिनिट, मी अटेंडन्स बघते जरा. अटेंडन्स येत नाहीये. कधी कधी येते, कधी कधी नाही येत. जाऊ दे, मी ह्याच्यातूनच घेते, पार्टिसिपंट्स मधूनच. Okay. Okay, you can leave the classroom. On Monday, we will see the remaining three processes for the dry etching. Again, it is classified into three parts that we will see on Monday. Okay, you can leave the classroom.